Hey guys, Chris Lopez back with another kettlebell video for you. Today I want to talk a little bit about technique. If you remember in the last video, we talked a lot about strength and being able to maximize tension, and I used the clean and press as an example. Well, one of the biggest, mistakes that people make, or one of the things that they have the hardest thing with, is cleaning the kettlebell and being able to get that kettlebell into the rack position, which essentially is all it is your ability to take that kettlebell from the ground, put it into that rack position. Now, the rack is relatively important. Actually, it's very important because your press is only going to be as good as your clean. And so your ability to get into that rack position cleanly, no pun intended, and to be able to root yourself into the ground and really feel the energy from the ground come up through the rest of your body to be able to push that kettlebell up is very, very important. So I'm going to teach you a few clean tricks that I've got that'll probably help you clean the kettlebell up a little bit better and really focus on maximizing tension. Because like I said, if you don't have a good clean, then the likelihood of your press being successful is pretty low. And that's pretty, that holds true for when you're going up into bigger weights, or you're trying to get into PRs, or you're really trying to get that last rep in without sacrificing the integrity of your form. So let me show you what I mean. When you're cleaning a kettlebell, in hardstyle training, we really want to think about cleaning the kettlebell and focusing on having quiet elbows. So if you look at the hardstyle swing, where we're driving the kettlebell back and we're extending and generating force and driving our energy towards the horizon, we've got very loud elbows in that our elbows are far away from our body. They're loud, they've got a big arc. With cleaning the kettlebell and with snatching the kettlebell, if you want to try a little bit of snatching, what you want to think about is having quiet elbows, in that your elbows are generally going to stay relatively close to your body, or very close to your body. They're never going to come out to the side, and they're never going to come too far away from your body so that you're pulling your shoulder out of its socket. So if we think about cleaning, what you really want to focus on is generating float in the bell to get it up. You're never going to muscle it up, and keeping your elbows tight to your body and then beating it to the spot. And I'll show you a couple of drills that I like to do to help my clients really understand how to clean. Now, what not to do is, once you clean that bell, if you want to re-clean it, to cast it out away from your body so that that momentum pulls your shoulder out of place, and then you end up becoming all out of alignment, or you could end up hurting your shoulder. So I'll give you a little bit of a trick. So if we're going to clean the kettlebell up, again, like I said, we want to focus on having quiet elbows. So I'm going to set myself up in front here, brace my abs nice and tight, and my elbows are going to stay relatively close to my body. And so nice and smoothly, it comes right into my body. If I'm going to let the bell go, I'm going to bring it down. So I'm going to straighten out my arm and then essentially hinge at my hips and get out of the way. So it's about to hit me in the midsection. I'm going to get out of the way quickly and then clean it up again with a quiet elbow. So that's one of the things that is pretty hard to train for new trainees. So one trick that I like to use is, it just happens to be bill day, and I've got a bill right here that I'm going to put to good use because I'm going to stick it in my armpit. And what this does is this trains us to keep the kettlebell nice and tight to the body. So this will help you really have nice and quiet elbows, not loud elbows. So I've got that bill tucked into my armpit, and I'm going to bring the bell down, get out of the way, and then right back up. And so there's a little trick on how to clean the kettlebell smoothly so that you've got minimum banging on your wrist, and so that you're not leaking energy or losing too much energy by casting the bell out away from you. So remember, you're not trying to lift that kettlebell up, you're not trying to muscle it up, you're trying to generate float through your powerful hip extension, and then bring the kettlebell or beat the kettlebell to the spot while keeping your elbow nice and tight to the body, and that's why we use the bills. So I guess that's something really good as far as bills are concerned. That's what they're good for. Anyway, I'm Chris Lopez from KettlebellWorkouts.com. I'd like to thank Adam for having me on the blog to show a few things about hardstyle kettlebell training. Go to kettlebellworkouts.com if you want any information on hardstyle kettlebell training or how to use a kettlebell for fat loss. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. But thanks for having me, guys.